Welcome to the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. I'm Allie Rose, certified clinical hypnotherapist and subconscious success coach. I help my clients stop self-sabotage and feel safe to create more wealth, worth, and wellness from within. If you find yourself stuck repeating the same unhelpful patterns in your life, health, business, or relationships, even after all the mindset work, this podcast is for you. Each week, you'll hear deep dives into the hidden beliefs shaping your life and live hypnocoaching sessions where someone shifts a block in real time. Because willpower isn't the problem, your subconscious story is. And when you shift it at the root, everything else begins to change. So let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. In today's episode, you'll hear a real-time coaching session with Katy, a health coach and civil engineer who's working through something many of us have felt, but rarely name: the guilt around getting paid. She's smart, compassionate, highly trained, and yet every time money enters the conversation, something inside her tightens. She finds herself downplaying her services, avoiding pricing conversations, or even offering her work for free. What comes up during our session goes far deeper than strategy, because this isn't actually about money. It's about identity, safety, and the subconscious belief that receiving might come at a cost. As always, this session includes elements of hypnocoaching, which means you'll hear us shift from conscious conversation into guided subconscious work. For safety, I've edited out the hypnotic induction portion, but you're still getting the full heart of the process. As you listen, I invite you to reflect. Where do you still hesitate to fully receive what you desire, whether it's money, recognition, or support? What messages did you absorb growing up about people who have or ask for too much? And what if guilt isn't the problem, but a clue to what's actually been holding you back? All right, let's dive in. Hi, Katy.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. So nice to connect with you.
Yeah, you as well.
So, my first question to you is, we're going to be talking to this part of you that has created this block or this challenge. How would you reference this part of you? Is it the part of you that feels uncomfortable accepting or receiving money? Is it a part of you that's blocking you from receiving money? What would you call it?
I think it's more like it seems more like a block.
Okay.
Um, for example, yeah, if I'm having a conversation with someone, I'll intentionally kind of steer them away from from anything to do with money, and it's kind of like I block myself from it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So if we say the part of you that is blocking you from receiving money in your business, that feels true.
Yeah.
Okay. And tell me a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah, so I retrained as a health coach, and then I decided to specialize in back pain because that was something that's personal to me. I've kind of gone through the ups and downs of having back pain due to sitting a lot for work. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to help people through that journey and show them how to kind of heal themselves using dynamic movements, also kind of looking at holistic approach of nutrition and yeah, and showing them just how, even though sometimes when you have back pain, movement can be the last thing you want to do, it's actually the best thing for you. So getting people up and moving and being able to be the best that they can be, because I feel like pain sometimes can hold you back a little bit. And once you kind of get over that pain or learn how to manage it better, then you're able to do the things that you love again.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I agree. And how long have you been doing this work?
So the health coaching, I started back in 2022, so a few years now. And then I more recently around the end of last year, decided to specialize in back pain because that's something that I've been on a journey and it's important to me.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting too because I feel like back pain is very symbolic as well in terms of how, where we carry our pain is very symbolic. So tell me a little bit more about the block around accepting money for your health coaching services. What does that look like?
Yeah, so I think what I've done in the past is offered people a service and then ended up either offering it for free or just kind of downplaying what I'm doing and then not really giving them the opportunity to actually be like, yes, I want to buy your service. And money is something I've had problems in the past as well through my job. So it's definitely not a new thing, but I want to be able to confidently ask for money and receive it knowing that that's what I'm supposed to do basically and give them the value that they deserve. And I understand right now that it's if I'm not selling it to them, then they're not receiving it and they're not getting the help they need. But there's still that thing in my mind which is like doesn't want to accept the money from people.
Okay. And you said you've experienced this in jobs as well.
Yeah, so in previous jobs, asking for pay rises or when I've started a job, negotiating salary has been something that I've hated. And I've done it. I have negotiated salaries because my friends have pushed me to do it. And I just feel horrible about it. And then afterwards, I'm like, I don't know if I deserve the money that they're giving me and feel guilty about it. So,
Tell me a little bit more about your family history in terms of your family's relationship with money or how your family talked about money while you were growing up.
growing up, so my parents broke up when I was quite young. So I had two sides of money. I had my father's side. He had a good job, so he had money to spend. And then my mum she was very, well, not, I wouldn't say poor, but had a very low paying job. So we did struggle with money sometimes. So I kind of had like a bit of a mix. Like through my dad, he would buy me nice things, and then my mom couldn't afford to buy nice things, but then we were still able to have all of our needs met, which was good. And then my mom was the opposite and more on sort of whatever money she had, she would spend it, even if it wasn't very much money. So I guess I kind of have a very divided. And I think when I became a young adult, I think I was more on the sort of well, I think I have both. Sometimes I would go out and spend all the money that I had, and then other times I'd be, like, a bit stingy and try to be careful with money. So, I guess maybe I've got a bit of a mixed money personality.
Mhm. Okay. What's your relationship like with mom and dad? We can start with your dad.
So, probably growing up, like, we didn't have the best relationship. I He got a new partner when I was quite young, so that was always, like, a difficult relationship. And then I would visit on weekends and see him not too often. And there was a time that we didn't see each other for like a few years. We kind of had a falling out. I think, being brought up by two parents, you got two parenting styles. And sometimes it's difficult because if one parent is saying something that you don't like and you've got another parent, then you kind of just tend to go towards the one that has the opinion that you like. So we ended up, not talking to each other for a little while. And then I think with my mom, it was more of a like she mostly brought us up, and so I've definitely got like the warmer side towards my mom.
Okay. Currently, are you working another job on top of the health coaching services?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I have a career which I am happy with, but my dream is to transition. I don't know what ratio that I want to do, what balance yet, but I love doing the health coaching. It's more of I can spend hours learning about health, talking to people about health. And so that's kind of what I want to spend more of my time doing. Um, but then, right now, my other job gives me the money. So I'm kind of tied in with that. So I just love to make money so I can have a better balance and even just the ability to choose what I want to do.
Right, right. What is your other job?
Yeah. So it's a civil engineer. So I work with designing of dams, very different to health coaching. And yeah, I do enjoy it. There's some good things about it, but it's not what lights me up.
Right. Right. Okay. Wonderful. Is there anything else that you think would be important for me to know before we go into the hypnosis part of the session?
I can't think of anything.
Okay, so first, I just want you, before you do that, I want you to just go ahead and take a deep breath in. Just ground yourself, feel yourself in your body. Take another deep breath in. Okay, and now I want you to go ahead and just look up as if you were trying to look into your own eyebrows, keeping your eyes glued to a real or imagined spot overhead. Just breathe in and out. Take another deep breath. Breathe in and out. And each time you blink, that's hypnosis coming upon you. And just one final time, take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. So every time I say the words, go deeper, you're just becoming more and more relaxed. So just one more time, go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper, at least 100 times deeper. That's perfect, Katie. You are responding perfectly, exactly as I knew you would, because I already know that you are incredibly open, receptive, and suggestible, and your mind is incredibly powerful. So I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath in. And now we're going to explore this part of you that is blocking you from receiving money in your business. So I want you to just imagine that you've turned your eyes inward. You've gone inside yourself. You're still Katie, but as you scan your body, you're able to find this part of you that is blocking you from receiving money in your business. And it's doing this because it thinks that it might have some useful role, function, purpose, and or intention in your life. So as you continue to scan your body, I want you to notice, where do you carry this part of you in your body? When you find it, can you let me know?
I feel yeah,
Where's that?
like my I guess like my heart area.
Heart area? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want you to just imagine for a moment that you are able to pull this part of you out of you. You are looking at it. Can you tell me, does this part of you have a color, texture, shape, or size? What does it look like?
Um, it's it's kind of like a dark green color, and it's like hard,
Okay.
like a kind of like a rock.
Okay. And I want you to tell me, how do you feel about this part of you? What emotions does this part of you bring up?
Heavy. Um, yeah, like it's a strong force. Um, that is like weighing me down.
Okay. Now I want you to go ahead and repeat after me. I am the part of Katie
I'm a part of Katie
that's blocking her from receiving money,
that's blocking her from receiving money.
and my role in Katie's life is to
My role in Katie's life is to
let it tell you what's its role.
hold me back.
Okay. And I want you to ask that part of you, why do you need to hold me back?
Why do you need to hold me back? I'm getting like safety
Safety
of
from?
or the feeling to it's trying to make me safe, but um that's not what I want. I don't need to be safe, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it's trying to make you safe because?
I guess to hold me back from the unknown.
Mm,
So it's wanting to me to be in a safe zone, but I don't want to be in a safe zone, if that makes sense.
yeah, sure. Okay, I want you to continue to call that part of you to mind. Really see it in front of you. And I want you to ask that part of you, what is your function in my life?
What is your function in my life? I think it's trying to get me to stay grounded. I think maybe it's of the opinion that if I do make more money, then maybe I'll lose myself a bit.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
don't, yeah, sounds strange.
Okay, perfect. I want you to just look at that part of you again. I want you to ask it, what is your purpose in my life?
What is your purpose in my life? I think it's protection against, yeah, like what feelings I'll have. It doesn't want me to wants me to stay in my comfort zone so I don't go out and have bad feelings.
Would the bad feelings be that you could experience if you were to go out into the unknown?
Getting things wrong, making mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah, not saying bad things or not saying bad things, but having a bad relationship with someone.
Mhm. Why would you have a bad relationship with someone if you allowed yourself to receive money in your business?
Maybe some sort of conflict if it's, yeah, like the inevitable. Like I guess if you have a business, there's going to be someone that doesn't like what you sell. And yeah, they may kind of complain or ask for a refund or something.
Mhm, mhm. Okay. All right. I want you to ask that part of you, what is your only intention in my life?
What is your only intention in my life? I'm getting to hold me back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it needs to do this because?
I don't think it does need to do it.
Well, some part of it believes that it needs to do it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there. Right.
Yeah.
Why do you need to hold me back? Anything?
It's hard to say, but sort of like so I don't lose myself
Mhm.
or yeah, I don't really understand.
That's okay. So I want you to go ahead and I want you to ask that part of you. When did you first come into my life?
When did you first come into my life? Yeah, I think when I was young, maybe about 5 or 6.
And what was going on in your life at that time?
Um, yeah, probably starting a new school and after my parents had separated and moved town and was like lot of things happening at the time, but starting a new school.
Is there anything specific that happened in that time regarding money or receiving money?
There were arguments, I guess, between my dad and my stepmom because, yeah, my dad would spend money on me and she wouldn't like it that he spent money on me.
Mm.
And I guess he spent money on me because he felt guilty and didn't see me too often. So, yeah, I guess it was when I did have money spent on me, I was made to feel guilty about it.
What did that cause you to believe about yourself, the world, other people, or money when that happened? 5 or 6 years old.
I think that I didn't really deserve the money that I got. So when I did get money, it wasn't, yeah, I didn't deserve it.
So the belief was, I don't deserve money.
Yeah,
Like, even when I get it, I don't deserve it.
yeah,
Even when it's freely given, I don't deserve it.
yeah.
Okay. So, can you see why you came up with this block? You understand?
Um, yeah, now I can. Um, yeah, I think it's a lot about how if I make money, then maybe other people will judge me
Mm, mhm.
and I'll feel like I don't deserve it.
Right. How do you feel about this now? Is it actually working for you to hold on to this belief that you don't deserve it or to hold on to this part of you that created this block?
I no, I don't want to. Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I want to have my business, and if that's making money and that's how it's going to thrive, like I can't hold on to it. Yeah, I guess I can't keep judging myself.
Right, right. So as kind of more things are kind of settling in for me, I'm seeing like as a child, as a 5 or 6 year old. So your parents get divorced, you're starting this new school, and you're also noticing that when your dad spends this money on you, so when you're receiving money, there's conflict, there's tension. So
Yeah,
you create this part of you that has an aversion to receiving money because it has created conflict or tension within a relationship, right?
yeah,
You tell yourself
and
you deserve it. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and also there were people at school too that if I'd came to school with new things, they would also be jealous and say that I was spoiled, and again make me not feel like I deserved it. I felt like in a new school and like judged by other people.
Right, right. Exactly. So do you see how that has continued to carry over into your life now?
I can now, yeah.
And how at that time in your life, it was trying to protect you. It was trying to keep money away from you so that you wouldn't feel judged or that there wouldn't be conflict or you wouldn't be rejected in some way, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the beautiful thing is that you, as a brilliant 5 or 6 year old, you created this so that you could essentially belong and be accepted. However, you're no longer 5 or 6 years old, right? So
That's true.
you can release this block if you want to. So I want you to tell me, how are you different now than when you were 5 or 6 years old? What's different about your life?
Um, I'm different is I do push myself outside of my comfort zone more, and I'm trying to do things that even though I'm scared about being judged, I'm gonna do them anyway. So, yeah, I think I'm moving away from wanting to stay safe and in a comfort zone.
Yeah. Do you rely on your parents in the same way that you did whenever you were 5 or 6 years old?
I think I'm very independent now, and I like to kind of do things on my own and figure things out on my own a lot.
Right. Right. Yeah. And now as an adult, if someone were to judge you for making money in your business, how might you handle it differently than when you were 5 or 6 years old?
I think I just have to learn um, to just accept that they have an opinion, and I don't need to fit in with everyone. It's not school. You don't need to spend all your time with these people and fit in. I choose who I'm around now. So just maybe if people's opinions, if they have negative opinions, just accept that that's their opinion and move on.
Right. Because when people have those strong opinions, oftentimes it's not necessarily about you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's typically about something that's going on in their own life, right? Their own
Yeah.
needs
That's a
not
very
being
good
met,
point.
right? Or, jealousy or anger or resentment or whatever it is that's going on in their own life, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I want you to go back to that part of you and I want you to tune into it. I want you to ask that part of you if it's ready to leave.
Are you ready to leave? Yeah.
Okay. It feels a little hesitant. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some hesitation, but I think so. Yeah.
That's okay. So I want you to ask that part of you, what does it need from you that would make it feel really safe to leave? Is there something that you can be doing on a day to day basis, something practical or tangible that it needs from you to feel really safe to leave?
I think it's saying I've just got to do it, go out of my comfort zone and just experience being able to accept money
Mhm.
and just not thinking about the consequences and just showing myself that it's okay. I guess kind of just rewire my brain a bit. Have those experiences. Don't be afraid. Don't try and put them off. Just do it and then it's going to leave me alone. I've got to take this step. I got to do the work, but it will go.
And I think about it, and it's like in you receiving money, the beautiful thing about that is that other people get relief from their pain, right? So it's like such a beautiful reciprocity. And so every time that you hold back from selling your services, someone is left in pain. They're left dealing with that on their own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want you to just notice, does the part of you feel any different now in your body than it did whenever we first started?
Um yeah. Uh calmer. There was like it felt very energetic before and upset and now it feels calm, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay. So I want you to just go ahead and repeat after me. Thank you for helping me the way that you did.
Thank you for helping me the way that you did.
Had a very powerful impact on my life.
A very powerful impact on my life.
You've been keeping me safe for so many years,
You've been keeping me safe for so many years,
but now you're free to go.
but now you're free to go.
And Katie, I just want to give you a minute to see whatever you need to see, feel what you need to feel, and say anything else that you feel like you might need to say to that part in order to let it go.
Yeah, I think I definitely feel like it's I something I didn't know was there, and now I know that it's there. I know I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, I guess I just needed to find it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's released a bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Now I want you to just for a moment, I want you to just take a couple of deep breaths in as you allow that part to settle differently into your body as it continues to release from your life. So go ahead and take a couple deep breaths in as you feel that calmness where that kind of agitation used to be, that activated part used to be. And now you just can feel that calmness. And I just want you to call to mind 5 or 6-year-old you and let me know whenever you have a vision of her and you can see her.
Yeah.
And I want you to just imagine yourself as the older, wiser adult that you are now. I want you to imagine yourself stepping into that scene. It's you It's the adult and your 5 or 6-year-old you. And I want you to just tell her anything and everything that she needs to know. What does she need to hear?
Think just there's gonna be conflict. It's not your fault, it's their opinion. Um, just accept, be grateful for what you have, accept it, and everything it's gonna be okay. You deserve what you receive, and other people may not agree, but that's okay. That's their opinion. You just have to learn to be tough and kinda get through.
That's
Yeah, yeah. I feel more like it's okay to let it go.
good.
Mhm.
Okay. I want you to just take a deep breath in, and I want you to picture that small child, the younger you, hovering just above your head. See them now slowly descending down, dropping down, merging into your body, merging into your heart, merging into your life now. You feel that child fully immersed within you now. They are never ever going back because the child, the little you, is now taking up residence in you as an adult. They are free now. They've had a massive upgrade into your life. The past is behind them and behind you, and you are free to be the person, the adult that you choose to be. And now, as you are seeing this, feeling this, believing this, becoming this, feeling wonderful, amazing, and free, I'm going to count you back to full awareness. And on the count of 5, whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. How was that for you?
Um, Insightful. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, there was things I didn't understand, but then the more we kind of went through it, they made sense weirdly. So, yeah, I kind of found it hard to say some things that I was seeing, but because I didn't get it. And then later on, I was like, "Oh, that's what I was seeing."
Right, right. That's what I love is that sometimes it doesn't make sense to our logical minds. But then as we just allow our subconscious to show us what we need to know, it starts to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Well, any other reflections or anything else that you want to share before we close up?
Yeah, I think one of the things I was trying to hard to say when I was getting the messages from that rock was I can't even describe it now, but was like not growing too much or kind of getting away. And I think what that came down to was when I was yeah, getting money when I was younger and people judging me and telling me that I was spoiled and that I was turning into this horrible person. So I think a little bit is that was me trying to save me from becoming a horrible person because I get money.
Right.
Yeah, so that was I think that was the thing that I didn't understand the most until then it was I was, like, at school and these people were saying these things to me, and I was like, "That's what it was." Because yeah.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I'm glad it came full circle for you, that it kind of landed and made sense for you. So, yeah, so
yeah,
hopefully that helps as you continue to build your business, and that part of you said that it needs you to just continue to show it, to go outside of your comfort zone, show it that it is safe to receive money, right?
yeah. No, I love it, like, I think it's gonna be very helpful. I can feel it already.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for trusting me to guide you through that process. And yeah,
Lovely. Thank you so much.
I want to thank Katie for her openness and willingness to explore this deeply held tension around money, worth, and safety. If you've ever found yourself avoiding the money conversation, feeling bad about raising your rates, or shrinking your work down to feel more reasonable, you're not alone. These blocks aren't about numbers, they're about nervous systems and narratives that were never yours to begin with. The good news is when you shift the story beneath the strategy, everything changes. If this episode stirred something in you and you're curious about what hypnocoaching could look like in your life or business, head to shiftyourstorypodcast.com or click the link in the show notes to book a free connection call. And if this conversation moved you, please share it with a friend who might need to hear it. These stories are how we break the cycle, not just for ourselves, but for everyone we serve. Here are a few final questions to reflect on. Where do you still believe you have to struggle to be deserving? What's the cost of keeping yourself small to make others comfortable? And what becomes possible when you give yourself full permission to receive? I'm sending you so much love and gratitude. Until next time. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us today for this episode of the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. If today's conversation sparked something in you, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to send me a message on social media. I'm at the Allie Rose on both Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to be coached on a future episode or explore what it would look like to work with me one-on-one, head over to shiftyourstorypodcast.com. And if you never want to miss an episode, make sure to subscribe and leave a rating and review. It helps more people find this work. Until next time, keep shifting, keep growing, and most importantly, I want you to remember that your story isn't set in stone. You always have the power to shift it.